some clear examples of how you felt like you've been able to transition? Because I think there's a lot of good coaches, but maybe they struggle to then shift the player up certain levels. They maybe get stuck getting a player to a certain level, but then how do we kind of, again, keep elevating and helping players jump more and more levels?
I think there's a couple of key elements to that, and in the players I've worked with in the past, one of the things I've found is if you play at a certain level for too long, you become that level. Right? Now, I will liken it to football in an example. A player who plays in the VFL, which is the second tier to the AFL, if you play in the VFL for 2, 3, 4 years, you become a VFL player, and that's the level. You almost put a ceiling on players because the next level is faster. So the faster we can get players, let me rephrase that because I think people can interpret that wrong. As we grow, we need to show them what the next level is to know how to train at that next level. I always say to players, you must train and play above the level that you are at right now to be able to then handle the next level. So if you're a 12-year-old that is wanting to play ITFs in the next year, 2, whatever, 3, don't train at under 12 level because we know that's not the level you're going to face when you play ITFs. You have to lift your intensity. You have to lift your ball speed. You have to lift your speed of movement on the court, your decision making. You have to make sure that you are quicker in what you're trying to do because the game at the next level is faster, right? So we know it's not going to cut it. So, as a kid turns 13, I always say to them, go to an ITF. No matter if you think you're ready, if I think you're ready or not, I don't care. Go to the ITF and play it. See it, feel it, come back to me and go, excuse my French, Mark, I'm not even close. And I'll be like, yeah, you're not. What do you need now that you've seen it and felt it and been there? I need to do this, this, and this. Great. Now it becomes driven by them. They then go, Mark, I need to get faster. Great. Let's work on your speed. Mark, I need to hit a bigger serve. Great. We've got to get that working right now. Hey, we've got to get a bit of a weapon because the top seeded guy, I watched him play and he's got a massive forehand and I just don't have that weapon. Cool. You've seen it. You felt it. This is driven by you. Now we can work on it. So that's my first step into that transition out of your junior tennis into your ITF tennis. Then you play ITFs. You start going, okay, I can play a few more. You play your J30s. You play that for a year or 2 and you start to go, okay, now I understand the level. I need to start progressing to 60s and 100s. And then you feel that for a year and it's like, I need to start progressing that a little bit more. You keep, no more than 2 years at a level to make sure that they don't get stuck at a level, because they end up, if they play J30s for 4 years, the game isn't what a J200 looks like or a Grand Slam junior event looks like. It's faster at that level. The speed goes up. The consistency goes up. The fight, the want, the passion goes up. So you can't stick at a level for too long without just being, oh, that's my level now. I'm not going to go any further. So I try to progress them as quick as I possibly can without going too fast and saying, well, you're 13, now you're playing pro level. That's not quite where I'm at. But trying to make sure that I keep getting them to look what's next as opposed to I'm comfortable where I'm at right now. So the moment they start getting comfortable, change it, fix it, move on, get them to another level. Same with pro level. I had guys that were, whether it be 500, 600, 700, and they're just playing futures all day, every day, 5, 6 years in a row. It's like, man, that's the level you've become that. And I go, let's go play a Chally. They lose first round qualifying. And they go, see, I can't play the level. No. You need to keep playing the level to stay at the level. Yes, money's one thing, points are one thing, but you're going to be stuck playing 15s and 25s the rest of your life. If you want to have a crack at this, we've got to get you out of this comfort zone. And I think people are scared to get out of their comfort zone because it's the unknown. It's the exposure of holes in the game. And it's like, I'm not good enough, but I would rather a person find out they're not good enough at 22 and go, hey, man, I just haven't been able to make that transition and I don't feel like I can. I keep, I can't even win my 25s anymore. I'm done, rather than playing 15s and 25s when they're 30 years old and still playing that same level, right? So it's kind of like getting them to know what's next and keep looking forward rather than I'm here, it's okay, I'll play my 15s where I'm comfortable. Let's progress a little bit further. So, you know, and I'm big on that. If a player says to me that's what they want to do for a living, don't let them stand still. You know, as a coach, you can't allow players to be in the same spot for 12, 18 months because we haven't done the right job to expose their holes, to expose their game, to push them to new levels, to new heights. You know, I've got a theory around when you train people, it's like training a flea. And if you've ever seen the YouTube clip of how to train a flea, it's a jumping insect, right? So fleas jump. Now, I can train a flea pretty easy. What I do is I put it in a jar, I put a lid on it, and the fleas will still jump, but they'll jump to the height of the lid and they'll keep hitting their head at the height of the lid. When I take the lid off after 3 days, the flea has only learned to jump to the height of the lid and it won't jump out. So I feel like a lot of coaches do that because it protects their own job because the kid won't then go and lose at the next level and their coaching gets exposed. I'm big on, you know what, whatever's best for the kid, not me. If the kid leaves me because I'm trying to progress their career, I'm okay with that. If they leave me because I've left them in the same spot for 3 years and they haven't progressed, I've done the wrong thing by them and I haven't done what they've needed in their game. So I feel like I like to keep them out of their comfort zone as much as possible, and that's a big part of our coaching philosophy. And another one is the jungle tiger, zoo tiger philosophy. If you haven't heard that one, it's a really important one for coaches to learn and also parents of athletes. So, you know, if you keep protecting you know, the tiger and put it in the zoo and feed it food and give it water and protect it, and there's nothing that it's scared of because it's in the cage and people are taking photos of it, so it's all pretty and all nice. It won't be able to play in a jungle, and tennis is a jungle. So, you know, we need to make sure we create that jungle thinking, and that's where the problem-solving, decision-making competitiveness comes in, is creating that jungle environment, and whether that be through tournaments, whether that be through training, whether that be through home environment. I think we need to make sure we ensure that our athletes have these skills to be able to perform at the higher levels.